Greetings everyone, hope you're keeping well out there. As I'm sure you all know by now, my name is Alex and today we are checking this out, which is in fact the E520s Foldable Drone. Now, as I'm sure you are all aware, drones have become increasingly popular in recent years because not only are they a huge amount of fun to play with, but they can also provide some fantastic photography shots as well. But with so many drones currently available in today's market, it can be quite difficult to choose which one is best suited for your needs. So today we're going to test out this entry-level to mid-range drone because apparently it comes packed with a huge amount of features, but more importantly, a 4K camera too. So this is the box that it has arrived in. As you can see, it's pretty basic with a picture of the drone on the front, and these are the features that it can provide. Apparently it's got GPS, you've got one key return, headless mode, altitude hold, it's got a HD camera even though this is the 4K version, and of course it has a speed control there as well. So let's get this unboxed. That comes across there, we can slide that out and there's nothing else in there, so we can get rid of it. Pull this off here and get rid of that. Straight away we are met with two user manuals. Obviously one is in a different language and one is apparently in English. We've got some guards here, we've got 4 of them in fact. Now this is obviously the controller, so we can remove that from there. Just put that there for a moment and yeah, okay then. Feels fairly robust. I mean, it does feel a bit cheap and cheerful, but at the same time it'd be quite comfortable to use. And then this is the actual drone itself. As you can see, it is all folded up. Let me just move that to one side. But if we open this out like so, they click into place and there it is. That is the actual drone, looking pretty cool to be honest with you. Yeah, I like that. And what's this under here? Oh right, okay then, so we've got a charging cable and some additional blades, and then finally this must be the additional batteries there too. So let's take a quick look at this drone then. I mean, for starters, straight away it does look very cool and very stylish. And I must admit, I know there's no battery in there at the moment, but it does feel very, very lightweight as well. And then of course on the front we have the 4K camera, and I think it'll be quite interesting to see just how good that footage really is. I mean, it might be interpolated footage or it could actually offer true 4K definition. And I've just realised my mistake there, by the way. So I said there was no battery inside, but there it is. There was actually one already provided, and that is pretty cool because I actually thought it was so light that there was no battery housed inside, but even with the battery there, that is seriously lightweight. Now let's just take another quick look at this control center here. So these are obviously the antennae to communicate with the drone once it's up in the air. And if you do want to attach your phone, then you can actually do that as well. So then that allows you to see what the drone is transmitting to you. Now as you can see, so this button is for the one key return, and then you've got your headless mode, you've got your one key takeoff, then of course you've got your one key landing as well. Now these little lights will light up to provide a power indicator for yourself. So of course you won't then suddenly lose your drone when it runs out of battery life. And then if you quickly go onto the top, we've got the options there for taking a video or taking a snapshot, and on the right hand side we've got the speed adjustments and the orbit mode there too. Like I said earlier though, it does feel a bit cheap and plastic, but at the same time, as long as it controls the drone, I'm more than happy with it. But of course the big question is just how long will you get in terms of flight time from a single charge of the battery? Well, according to the manual, from a single charge which takes approximately 3 hours, you will get between 13 and 15 minutes of flight time, which isn't necessarily that much. But if you do decide to buy this drone and you get the pack with the additional batteries, then with the 3 batteries that will give you up to a maximum of 45 minutes flight. So that is it in terms of the unboxing and a quick look at all the accessories, but let's just have a quick look at the app that it tells you to download in order to operate this. Now when you open it up, you are met with a question mark and of course a play button. Now if you click on the question mark, you are shown a visual representation of what you can expect when you open the app in its full flight mode. And as you can see, there's quite a few additional features to play around with as well whilst operating your drone. I mean, for starters, you will actually see what the drone is seeing while it's hovering overhead. And then of course you can either do the takeoff or landing. You can even change to a VR mode if you wish. You've got the gallery of what you have snapped away at. And then of course you can take photos, videos, you can even move the camera up or even down. Then if we go back to the home button and press the play button, it'll take a few moments to set itself up. And then once it does, you are met with a little prompt there saying, has drone been calibrated? Well, of course it has not. So let's turn it on and see what actually happens. So I'm going to press this on. And there we go. All the lights are flashing, which looks like a bit of a disco is happening. And let's get this calibrated then. So let's see what happens. We press no. Let's see what it tells us to do. Rotate the drone 360 degrees as the picture is shown. Okay, so well, that's what I'm going to do. Don't know how long I have to do it for though. So that takes a few minutes, and then you are met with the actual app itself, and then of course you can control the drone once it is outside and in a safe area. So that is exactly what we're going to do right now. We're going to take this outside and hopefully find somewhere nice and big where we can allow this drone to pretty much run free. Okay then, so I now have the drone all set up behind me. As you can see it there just on the floor. And we have the control pad here as well. Now, just to confirm, I'm not really an expert when it comes to flying drones, so it's going to be interesting to see what results we actually get. So here we go then, the very first attempted flight of the drone, and I've got to admit I was quite nervous at first due to my lack of experience, but once it was up in the air I relaxed straight away, and it was actually very exciting at seeing this machine flying around so high. Now the first thing I wanted to attempt is a nice flyby of myself, so I'm just going to position the drone and I'm going to bring it down and fly over my head. And there we go. Okay, it wasn't the best flyby, perhaps it could have been slightly lower, but for my first attempt I am very proud of that. So now I'm going to try and master the controls a bit more by bringing the drone down from a certain height and have it fly very close to me. So here we go, let's get some height first, and I will say by the way, just in terms of maneuvering this drone, it is nice and simple. The controls are very easy, and I know with continuous practice I will just keep getting better and better. But anyhow, going back to bringing this drone up close and personal to myself to get a good shot, here we go. And there is me. How cool does that look? But the one thing I have noticed is that the camera does only seem to record in slow motion. Now that isn't really a major issue, but I suppose it would have been better if it did actually record in real time. So that was the first attempt, and now on to testing just how high I can get this thing to go. So let's begin climbing, and straight away, even though we're not that high, you can clearly see a fantastic view. And how small does that drone look already? I mean, it just looks like a tiny dot. But still, we are continuing to climb, and I really am very impressed looking down on the city from such a height. Now, at the moment, it's probably around 50-55 meters in the sky, but I eventually get up to around 70 meters, or approximately 230 feet, before I decide to bring it back down. But the view being captured by the onboard camera is simply incredible. I mean, look at it. It's just beautiful. On to the second day of test flights now, and I will say that it was actually quite windy. I mean, straight away, as soon as the drone takes off here, you can see it being pushed slightly to the left, but still, it was fairly easy to control, and I wasn't at all worried that the wind would carry it off somewhere inaccessible. Now, again, I'm going to try and go high up and then bring the drone down to get some tracking shots of myself. So here we go, getting some height, lovely view again, and it is slightly brighter today, which is always good. Okay, so we're just going to maneuver this around. I'm going to try and keep myself as central in the shot as much as possible. And here we go, just bringing it down. Okay, the wind is pushing the drone slightly, but do not worry, I am still in pretty much full control. Bring it down nice and level. Whoops, that's maybe perhaps a bit too fast. But there we go, I'm still fairly pleased with that shot. I'm just hovering close by, still keeping it nice and safe. And even with the wind, I'm still enjoying controlling this with quite a lot of ease. And of course, here's a few more attempts of me doing some flyby shots, bringing it nice and low, and of course, nice and close. Again, they're not exactly perfect, but you can still clearly see me in the shot. And then of course, let's do one more, bringing it in nice and low once more, but trying to keep it as smooth and as level as possible. Just bringing it a bit closer, a bit lower, trying to adjust the altitude and speed at the same time. And there we go, perhaps it should have been a bit lower. Now at this point I do get a bit carried away and try and do a bit of a circle around myself, but unfortunately I do come in far too fast, go past myself and bring it to an abrupt end. And finally, for those of you wondering just how good a snapshot is whilst the drone is in flight, well, here it is. And although you can see it isn't exactly the highest in terms of picture quality, you can still clearly see everything in pretty good detail. And perhaps on a brighter day with more light, then the photographs would be even better. Well, there we go. That was a quick overview and of course demonstration of the E520s Foldable drone in action. And you know what? For my brief experience of setting it up and testing it out, I think this is an exceptional, good quality drone. Now, I know I wasn't exactly the best when it comes to flying it because of my lack of experience of flying drones, but at the same time, the more I played around with it, the more my confidence grew and the easier it became. One thing that I really do like, however, is the fact that you can actually see what the drone is seeing via the app connected on your phone or smart device, especially when the drone went really high. Now, I think I got up to around 17 meters in the end, and it really was spectacular just seeing the view from that high up. Of course, it would have been even better if the camera itself offered true 4K quality, but like I suspected, it definitely wasn't. I mean, it could pass for maybe HD, but at the same time, I still think that footage is interpolated. Now, like most drones, it will take a bit of practice before you become a master at flying one of these around, but thanks to its onboard camera, its easy controls, and of course not forgetting its portability, you'll have this up in the air in no time at all, and with a bit of patience, you'll get some pretty awesome camera shots as well. Now, as usual, before I go, if you've got any questions or comments you'd like to ask me about the E520s Foldable drone, then you know what to do. Put them in the comment section below and I'll do my very best to get back to you, answer as quickly as possible. Not forgetting, if you like this video and you like tech, then please show your appreciation by giving this video a fantastic thumbs up, and don't forget to hit me up on that classic subscribe button. But until next time, thank you once again for watching, and I'll hopefully see you at some point very soon. Thank you.